Everybody, welcome back to the Forge. I'm excited to have you here this evening to show you this custom-made knife. This one is not for sale. This is going out to a customer. He wanted a hookbill style knife. This is a lineman knife. This is a knife for guys who are cutting power cables, stripping power cables, and they like that hook in there. So I wasn't super familiar with the hookbill knife. I familiarized myself with it before I made this one, and I have a new respect for this style knife. So you'll see it's similar to the karambit and the corn knife and some other agricultural type knives, but there's a lot that goes into this. There's a lot of technicalities about this knife I want to familiarize you with. So let's get a closer look at this hookbill lineman knife and see what makes it such an effective design. Just watch it just eat through cardboard here. Look, I'm almost not even able to feel when it engages the cardboard. It just slides through there so easily. It's amazing. It's because of that curve. It'll never slip past it with that curve. It just grips and it goes and goes and goes. So love the cardboard cutting capabilities here. How about something like this piece of wood? Watch again how long and thin it's able to cut here. And look, I'm just doing this. This is just working straight towards the tip here. Let me just try to get in close here. Look at that work towards the tip. There's no other knife that gets that much cutting power towards the tip. So again, flat, smooth, just a great cutter. If I want to bite in deep into this thing, just gonna grab it and pull through here. Get a good grip. Just cut through that whole thing, just pulling through it. That's nuts. What else do we have here? Well, some of this big, I don't know what kind of gauge wire this is. This is the sort of stuff you'd strip with it, and it just strips it fast, easy, no problem. Looks kind of cool, doesn't it? So that's a delight. I could do that all day. I would love to get paid to do that. And as for the rope here, let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See if I can get a good grip on that. Okay, that's just really thick, very hard to get through, but we're just gonna put it through like that. It's just so simple. So that hook, along with that special chisel vex grind, makes this thing an incredible cutter, and I hope that helps to illustrate it just a little bit just now. All right, let's get into some of the nitty gritty of this knife. Of course, it's forged from 1095 high carbon steel, and it's hardened to right around 60 Rockwell hardness. I left some of the scale on here because guys just love that rustic look. More people like that than not these days. So kind of a cool live edge look. I like it too. So that remains here. This is a, what is this? A 1, 2, 3, 4-inch blade. And your handle is 1, 2, 3, also 4 inches. So you got 8 inches overall. Very comfortable curly maple. Okay, let's just start from the tip and work our way down. I want you to notice the taper going on towards the tip. It's still pretty stout, pretty beefy, because I want that tip to be really strong. Because it hooks like that, it could be susceptible to breakage. So I want to make sure we left a little extra steel in there to make sure that tip stays intact and doesn't take any damage. Now, the overall hook design, why is it like that? Well, because this is meant for catching and cutting through, specifically, wires like this. Now, if I have, a normal knife like this here, as I cut, at some point, I'm gonna slide past because the blade is angling away from what I'm cutting. That only makes sense. With a knife like this, that doesn't happen. It actually just grips until the very bitter end. I could even just start on the tip there and just with a tip cut. So that's what's amazing about that hook is it does not let go of a cut like that, and it will cut with full force to the very, very, very end. Now I'm going into the, cutting into the aluminum a little bit there. So that is why the hook is there. And that's why it's there for agricultural tools too. If you're kind of harvesting your head of wheat here, you grab it and you fold over, and as you pull through, see how I get all these strands. As you pull through, that material compacts and it eats through it like that. So there's no slipping past this point. Once the material's in here, it's in there for the long haul, and it's gonna stay there until this knife just straight up catches and can't go any further, or cuts straight through it. So you'll find that works the same way with wood as well. It's just gonna cut deep, and you're not gonna slip off. It's just gonna stick on there until the cut is through. So really amazing. You can cut shallow, or you can just say, hey, you know what? We're gonna cut deep and see what happens. And it just takes big, long chunks out of it because this design is not gonna give up. So that's the advantage of that hook bill. You completely capture and control and will cut through whatever you're pushing. And I'll tell you what, you can really feel the leverage advantage when it gets right about there. So again, yeah, that's why linemen like it for stuff like that, stripping your wire. Continuing on to the handle, this is a very comfortable curly maple handle. See, there's a swell here, and that is nice and rounded in there, so there's no hurting of the finger. It's very comfortable. Thinner through here because your fingers are smaller through there, so they curl up nice and comfortably. We've even got this nice little run of jimping, this little thumb ramp right here, and that's super nice. Feels good for your thumb if you want to rest it there. So handle, blade. Now notice this. This is a what do I call it? A chisel vex grind. So it's a chisel grind, which is, this side is basically straight, and this side is kind of like saber ground. But it's done so, that'd be a chisel ground, but it's done so in a convex fashion. So you can see this is a convex kind of saber grind from here down to there. And this is a very convex flat grind. What the chisel grind does is it gives you a massive advantage if you're cutting. This one's made for a right-handed cutter. If you're cutting like this, because that flat angle there lies flat against your material and allows you to get those really nice, shallow, flat, fine cuts that just bite, 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 bite. So you've got the advantage of like a very full, flat grind on this side. And again, this one slightly convex. But over here, you can see it's much steeper. This is a steeper grind. What's that do? Well, that gives the whole thing durability. If I had two sides that were this flat, that would make a very thin edge. It wouldn't be too durable. And when I end up, catching on the metal that I'm cutting, it would actually hurt the blade. But now, because I have a flat grind on this side and a convex grind on this side, it makes the edge very durable. So it can get dinged up and beat up a bit, and it's not gonna dull because it still has a lot of thick steel behind the edge. It's just all on this side of the edge rather than this side. So it's a compromise, and it allows you to cut very smoothly, very well with a right-handed cut like this. Now, if I were to cut it, try to engage this surface in cutting, it's not quite the same. It still will cut, but it doesn't bite in with the same vigor because that grind is steeper. You can see it there, steepness, and see it there, the flatness. That's the secret to this knife. That's what makes it such a good wire stripper, because it's a chisel vex grind. And I thought it up and said, yeah, we're gonna give it a try, and it just works out terrific for this knife. Also makes it really, really easy to sharpen on the go. All you have to do, on the go is what I said there, I didn't pronounce it well. All you have to do is just lay it flat and sharpen this side. So you've got some kind of a block here, you've got some sandpaper, just lay it flat and pull back. And you can just do that with you don't really even have to bother with this side much, just sharpen that side. Again, a leather belt, your leather harness you're using to climb that telephone wire, that's gonna strop and sharpen this up to razor sharp. So easy to maintain, really efficient cutting, great for these kind of long right-handed cuts. And while it's doing all that, it's maintaining its durability. So that are the specifications, the kind of specific aspects of this Lineman knife, what make it work so well. Let's just see it do then a little bit of cutting in action. We've already seen a bit, let's see a bit more. So what kind of a sheath holds a knife like this? Well, a Kydex sheath is the best choice. You can go in and out quickly, and there's no snaps to deal with. If you were to do this with leather, you pretty much have to have a snap back here or something. But Kydex is a great way to hold this securely, and you have a number of mounting options here. So you can mount this to, I'm not sure what the rig looks like of a Lineman, but it could be mounted to a vest, to a harness, to a belt, whatever you'd like to do. These grommets give you full options for that. Now, look at this Kydex, and I don't love Kydex, I love leather, but this is done nicely. You can see the nice rounded edges. You can see that we're chamfered and also swelled out right there, so we get a nice insert of the blade into the sheath. So again, Kydex is pretty cool. I like how it shows the profile of the knife. It's just not as classy or as classic as leather, but it can still be done well and with a high degree of quality. And of course, this Kydex is. This is your heavier duty stuff. I believe this is the 0.06. I think it's 0.06, maybe 0.08, a little bit thicker, but that's going to ensure we get really, really, really good retention. I mean, there's not even any rattling in this. And again, you need that because this blade, it's not being held right here, it's being held down there. So I need that thick Kydex in order to hold the knife solid in there. But it is a easy out, easy in, very secure, very versatile sheath. So that Kydex sheath is what it will come with. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed that. I really can't say enough about this knife. I'm really glad someone contacted me to make it. I'm glad to have made my first hookbill style knife. It's so comfortable. You've seen how it cuts. And I'm just really, really pleased with it. So this one is sold, but if you're a lineman or you just like a hookbill knife, marsfireforge.com, you can put in a custom order there, or if you prefer, you can just give me email at marsfireforge@gmail.com. Check out my Instagram. I'll be putting pictures of this up soon. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and comment down below. All that stuff, I'm told, helps the channel, and that would be awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Tune in next time for another fun review.